close my door. Close my. Thank you so much for joining us. Another beautiful day to bring on a matter the way they happen for inside Nigeria. My name is Precious Enyi. It's always a delight to be with you and bring you updates onto things that they happen for inside Nigeria. And quickly, Matalon, are the headlines where I get from this evening. First off, Nigerian army don't confirm say Boko Haram they use armed drones for inside Borno State. The one way it resemble that type of Israel and Ukrainian type. 90 they use, so they don't talk. And then over 300 Nigerians army personnel, they don't kill them for inside northeast by Boko Haram just within 5 weeks resurgence. Now so then talk and this now according to report and go bring and come your domot. Meanwhile, Abure don't they talk, they highlight talk, say he don't they threaten say if he expose Peter Obi and Alex Otti, if he expose them, say if he talk, say what's in go talk, say it go be like rotten egg. Say everywhere go they smell like rotten egg. Oh wow. Oh wow. Waiting. What could it be? Remember the brother of the National Association of Nigerian Students when they say he's still there for DSS custody, right? Well, they say the man became don't they cry, they shout, say may they release him papa or may they release him papa or that one said we could talk about him. Then talking about Nnamdi Kanu case, Nigerian government witness don't tender Ahmed Gulak death certificate for inside the Nnamdi Kanu trial as part of waiting EB say they could use against Nnamdi Kanu. Tinubu inherit badly mismanaged Nigeria economy from Buhari. Na so Oshomole talk. So we cannot blame Tinubu. Na Buhari na go blame. If we to say we be governor today, we for challenge Tinubu for waiting to do. Who talk this one? And Meiji now they talk electoral reform, INEC citizens proposals and the implications for the 2027 election as INEC don't tender some set of reform bills or things where they want put for inside the reform. And I would like me to look into those ones. Senate confirmed 5 INEC recs today. That one same day. Meanwhile, UK envoy don't talk say President Tinubu they try well. So in economic reform they make Nigeria very very investable. They make them they easy to invest for inside Nigeria. That matter self still get grant. I will talk about them. At last, UTME Jam don't agree say true they be make mistake and error they inside waiting them do. Lagos gubernatorial something be as it concern Lagos election, Sheyi Tinubu, Gbajabiamila, Alausao, Obasao, all of them don't line up for people with feel be possible governors of Lagos State. And NIN don't they say enrollment for NIN don't hit 120 million as NIMC don't give reasons for the price we be say the review recently. All this matter and more now you will carry come on at the mountain. Joining me inside the studio today and Oga Dennis Amakre, a man will be saying a former DSS deputy director and a person will be saying cardiac well as a concerned security. I think we will start with security because security matter don't too they worry us. Good evening, sir, and thank you so much as you oblige me this evening.
Good evening.
Thank you, sir. So before I go straight to asking you questions, make I read out 2 reports we get to do with security. Where did my front right now? One, now say Nigerian army that is the operation hiding Kai for Nigerian army have expressed concerns over the growing use of armed drones by Boko Haram terrorists in the northeast, warning that such tactics are difficult to detect using conventional radar systems. Now, Major General Abdul Salam Abubakar, a theater commander for inside Operation Hiding Kai, and I talked this one to, I think yesterday Tuesday, 9 talk about say be the NAC newsman to read for inside Borno State. They can't explain, say some of the drones where it be say they see and where these insurgents and terrorists they use, say it resemble the type where it be say they see for countries like Israel and Ukraine. Now waiting in talk. Now General Abubakar also called on the remaining insurgents them. May they make sure say they surrender so that they go fit give them that freedom what they give. May they copy their counterparts them we lay down their arms so they can't give amnesty. It can't one say those who refuse to surrender, say they go deal with them. Now, we could go straight to the statistics of terrorism or ACB insurgency for inside the past few months, as over 300 people, including more than 100 military personnel and 200 civilians, 9 don't buy so far, and now the ones wey Boko Haram don't kill for southeast. We need to talk about the ones wey bandits and herdsmen don't kill. Oh. This one na for northeast rather. Now this one they happen. And this one, according to new reports, will be say, research by I think next year SPD now released this report. And this one can be very worrisome because you know the very far from waiting former senator where they represent a senator where they represent Borno State, Ali Ndume, talk recently say week by week, day by day, Nigerian army personnel they die for the hands of these people. As it be like this, with over 300 people, 9 don't die so far, including over 100 army officials. Waiting be the implication of this, especially considering say most of our House of Rep members don't they even cry. They say part of the people where they follow these people come operation, terrorists them come operation. Say them be even white people, they be foreigners. Obviously, they don't look like Nigerians, especially those ones where they follow them come bomb military or scatter attack military base. What's be the implication of this, sir? If all this
Thank,
are true.
thank you very much. Yeah, you've asked a lot of questions, and the thing is that let us take them one by one. You
Thank you, sir.
know,
Because
number
say you don't
one,
get time, so I say make I gather all of them together so that
yes,
you go
yes,
pay attention to them sharp
yes.
sharp.
Number one, you see, we are still living in denial, and that is that Nigeria is under siege, under a very serious siege. You know, and of course, we have external military force also attacking the country. But
External. But
external
that one no dey
is
against
what?
our sovereignty. That means it's a war now. Now war against us now.
Of course, that's what
If
it
external
is.
force they are fight us, not be war against our country. And why would they take them lightly?
Well, we have been taking it as bandits or terror insurgents and stuff like that. But since ISWAP entered into this fight some years ago, that's when we entered into, external forces started to enter Nigeria. And these are fighters from Afghanistan, Syria that have been coming down. And remember, their name is Islamic State of West Africa
African
Province.
province. Yes.
So it is not just even Nigeria. Their plan is to run across
Yes, because
the
most of the Sahel
whole
states
West
they say they
Africa.
suffer the same
Yes.
thing.
So it is one that they've been fighting, but I think we've been playing kids' glove with it. Now, you mentioned something about drones. Now, I don't know because whoever who mentioned that they were using Israeli and Ukraine type drones, I don't know whether they shut it down to check,
To check and to see type okay.
to identify it properly, because you cannot see a drone flying by and say, oh, that one
So
is
this one are
Israeli
Israel own.
or this
Okay.
one are Ukraine or something like that. But let us say that there were Ukraine or Israeli drones there. If they are there, then we should be very, very worried. Very, very worried. Now, one thing is very certain. The war in Ukraine is mainly a drone war. You know,
Yes.
it's a drone war. And even the Israeli-Palestinian war, now drone that they use. And these drones are devastating because they are, unmanned air vessels. There are no human beings in it. They are controlled and they are flying down. They are used mainly for surveillance. They are also they are designed to do precision strike. And then, of course, they are long endurance, 36 hours in the sky. They can stay 36 hours in the sky. And then, of course, their capabilities are many. The Predator drones, that I know of, is around the MQ-9 is about 23 million. In fact, the last price I saw was 30 million for one.
Whoa.
$30
Dollars.
million.
No be naira
Dollars.
because I say make I mention
Yes.
the dollars. Make you
Yes,
no go dey think say na
dollars.
naira you dey talk about. Eh, they don't
Yes,
talk am now.
dollars. Now, the one that they were talking about If it is the Israeli one, the Israeli Hamas 900 or the Ukraine TB9, TB2. The TB2s are ranging from 5 million to 20 million for one.
So how
Now,
did these terrorists get how they
that
use
is the
gold?
question. That's why I first asked you, I said, are they sure? Do they shoot one down to make sure that this is a Hamas or Baraka? Those are the two major drones. The Baraka Rakta is from Ukraine, and the Hamas 900 is from Israel. And you have to actually have shot it down to know that these are the ones that they are using. And they are very, very expensive. Now, if they are very expensive, besides the expense, to operate these drones, you need to have a control room. You cannot stay inside bush and be using a remote control. You have to have a control room where you will control them. And then, of course, there are
How
payloads.
do they get the air surveillance for that place? What thing did they use? Which kind of internet facility they go use? I've been a satellites they go use.
That's another part. That's another part. Maybe there will be a direct internet connection. I don't know, but
So
when
if they
they
dey use
go,
satellites, who they give them access to a satellite? And how come
that
we within our
that
territory no fit counter that thing what did they do? And
those are the
a lot of things
questions.
that make
Those are
sense.
the questions. So that's why I'm telling you that that information that we heard from the commander of Hadin Kai, I don't think is correct.
But
I don't
see,
think it's correct.
even before that information from the commander of Hadinkai, other House of Rep members don't they talk am before they don't they hammer am. In fact, what it make the commander of Hadinkai come even they admit am now? Now because of the way House of Rep members don't they shout am based on the intelligence with themselves then they get from their area.
No, 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 no. I
Eh,
don't ever rely on any intelligence you get from the
politicians.
National Assembly. Yes,
Eh.
where are they going to get it? Where do they get it? You know,
Okay, so
they are the,
are you saying that what they also mentioned that some foreigners are part they join these people, they follow them come attack military base? Feel no be true. Is that what you're
Oh,
saying?
no, we know that there are foreigners. No, we know that. We know that. The security agencies, the military, they know that there are foreigners. ISWAP is a foreign terrorist group, and there are many foreigners that have been following them into the country. The defense chief of defense staff, the chief
Yes, sir.
of defense staff has even said it, that there are foreigners among the people that they brought. But that one can be confirmed because when they capture some of them or when some of them surrender, they debrief them and they can tell, that yes, there were foreigners that were coming in, there were people or helicopters that were coming to drop things for them. And of course, we cannot deceive ourselves. Foreigners have been involved in this case. And that's why I'm very worried as a security man, a security professional, that we need to take this thing seriously. Nigeria is under siege from external forces. Their objective, I don't know. But the way they are going about it is to destabilize Nigeria. And this is something that we have to take very seriously.
All right, so I go
If
play you a bit. Okay, sir. All right, let me let you land, sir. Let me
Yeah,
land, sir.
if there are drones that are involved now, then we should be even more worried. We should be more worried. But National Assembly, sometimes I'm very worried because their own job is to make laws and give proper appropriation to the security agents, with which they can use in buying these things. Like I told you, a single drone, $23 million. And how much are they giving them as allocation? So they
But
cannot.
remember, say they the ones where even just which one way Buhari buy that time where we buy for over 1 billion, about $1 billion.
No,
Not
we are
because
talking of Tocano
Tucano
jets.
jets. But we
Yeah,
have stopped
Tocano
using them.
jets.
They say we'll sign a contract to make us no go fit use the Tucano jets again. After spending that kind of money on top them.
Yes, because at that time, apparently, the people that recommended it and got it, they didn't evaluate the situation, the threat environment very well. Because when you start to use Tucano jerseys for open air dogfight, dogfight, where even the other opponents are having their own helicopters or jets that they will use in fighting each other. But the fight have changed. This is an asymmetric fight. There are people on ground that are using civilians as cover. Now, and then when you want to do things like this, drones are even better because we've recommended these drones. Police have acquired some, but I don't think they are predator drones. What we need are predator drones. And predator drones are very expensive. But with the way the war is going now, I think it is very, very necessary that the National Assembly start thinking about it.
All right,
because they are taking up the job of the commander-in-chief. Yesterday I heard they are asking the military to deploy to Borno. So they've started doing posting. And that posting is the job of the commander-in-chief.
But do you think that the commander-in-chief is living up to his
Assembly
responsibility and the National Assembly, they do this one? Because the attacks, and don't they way too many? I would never really see president act and feel concerned, like say this thing, they worry him well. So
he has been having meetings with the security chiefs, and the military. Immediately he came back from his trip. The first thing he did was have a meeting with them. Okay.
So sir, because of your time, I know say you go soon leave me go, but I get some things so I won't find out from you. I beg no vex. The last time when we get this kind of attacks, them like this, where it follow back to back like this, Nigerian Jonathan time. Now people don't they like it and say, come, is the Jonathan this thing trying to repeat itself again? What's it they happen? What do you think is going on? Do you think that this is just a direct sabotage on President Muhammad and Tinubu's administration? You think it's a direct sabotage for inside the administration? Or you think, say, that just normal insurgency fight, we've done the fight since?
There is nothing normal about insurgency fight. President Goodluck Jonathan's government was sabotaged. It was sabotaged. When some of these bandits were brought to destabilize Nigeria. In the Borno area and the Adamawa area, 11 local governments were taken over by bandits. Jonathan was smart enough to go and bring PMCs. Yes. Private military contractors who went and drove them out in 14 days.
But the Northerners were shouting and they were saying that they were killing their people. In fact, let me quickly play you this footage. Let's get to watch it because somebody here just reminded us of that thing again and said that when Jonathan did that day, out of their selfish interest and politics, was shouting against Jonathan. But right now, the thing don't worse pass as a day before again. Make her just play and
small. Cannot just sit down watching them.
Just watch them and
to do whatever they feel like doing simply because they are professional. You cannot talk to them. Give them target. During Jonathan, we brought mercenaries. They were about to finish Boko Haram. But because of our complacency and personal aggrandizement and personal interest, we asked them to go back. And we are still battling with the issue. I was in Borno State as a member of a state as well.
Yeah. I have seen it, although it's not playing. Yeah, it's not playing very well, but I have seen it. I've seen this one. A lot of confessions.
Good confession, because I was going to call this a confession.
A lot of confessions are coming up. People who sabotage Jonathan have come out to say a lot of things. In fact, today, was it yesterday? I heard Amechi also confessing how they sabotaged.
Yes. But
Jonathan's government.
You and I know that now. We know,
yes.
we know that now.
So
we know
these sabotages, some of the sabotages that have happened, and there are people right now who are ready to sabotage President Tinubu's government. I think they should try and recognize them and do something about it, because if we start to play politics about it, it will continue.
So why this sabotage happen anytime we southern person being government? Why
I don't want
as bad as people were crying that Buhari's government was. Why this sabotage happen to this level? Even
Well,
though
I don't want to box myself into South or North thing or religious thing, okay?
Okay.
Because some people say, yes, President Tinubu is a Muslim. Why are Muslims trying to attack him? You know, one thing I know is that it is the trophy everybody is going for.
And what is that trophy?
Everybody wants the presidency. Everybody wants it.
And one way to get it is to make life unbearable for anybody who is in power.
By all means possible, you know, people will try to get to that presidency. And that's why we're saying that, you know, politicians are not in office for the welfare of the Nigerian people. They are just there to hustle and try to see whether they will just catch the big part of the cake, you know, for themselves. So I think if President Tinubu is listening to his security people, you know, he should be able to change the tide, because this will continue. It will continue. If they sabotage him, the next person that comes in will be sabotaged too.
Okay, so very quickly, I beg, the last time, you know, the time when me and you talk, and that time you admit to the fact that there's an agenda, whether Islamization and all of those kind of agenda. Do you still think that that agenda is playing out? They're still pushing that narrative right now. That's one. And secondly, some other people don't also see this agenda as now more of a Western influence in terms of imperialism agenda. Do you think that is rather what is playing out now, or the two agenda they work hand in hand right now, and are waiting what you see right now?
Well, the former president of Nigeria, President Olusegun Obasanjo, has come out to say that there's an Islamization agenda, you know, and that was when Buhari was president. So that one has not been refuted. And then, of course, the other one that I'm more worried about, the agenda that I'm worried about, is the new colonialist agenda, where there is interest from foreign countries, especially America, United Kingdom, France. These three countries are hustling for a sphere of influence on the African continent, you know. And if our leaders are not very, very careful, they're going to play into their hands.
So what does it mean? What does it mean that now that other sub-Saharan African countries are running away from some of them, like the French one? Now we will they go sign more agreements with them? We don't they closer to them? Does it mean anything? And if we follow for waiting, they happen, cause us this problem now. The reason I ask, somebody wait there for Borno State, we don't call us, tell us how precious minerals and they move them through train from Borno and Benue State through truck. They move them to Cameroon.
Yes,
some minerals. So could this be because of this new law what we get with France, or there's something else?
Well, the thing
why Cameroon of all places now they move our minerals too?
Because Cameroon is a French-speaking colony, you know. So if they cannot pass through Niger Republic, they can pass through Cameroon. But all these are conspiracy.
Don't block them.
All these are conspiracy theories, because I need concrete facts, you know, to get it. But one thing is that if we are extrapolating from what has been happening with foreign countries in Africa, you know, I think we have to really look at it, because none of these foreign countries have our interest at heart. All of them are jostling for their national interest and their sphere of influence, because they feel that, and Russia is also there, you know, for the countries that have left France, and of course they are trying to kill their president. They've rushed down to Russia, and then of course Russia, as big brother now, is trying to protect, you know, places like Burkina Faso. So we have to realize that there is a hustle going on, and that hustle, you know, affects us against the foreign powers that want the minerals in Africa.
You may talk something. Say one of the greatest fear where you get the worry when I talk about the two agendas. You say the worst one where you did more worried about now the new colonist agenda. Why should we be more worried about that? And why are you more worried about that?
I'm more worried about that because, you see, that agenda keeps us in perpetual slavery. Perpetual slavery. Their countries are developed, very, very developed, with what came from Africa. America is developed today with free slave labor that they use in building their country. Europe, all their factories, right now, even those countries that are producing cell phones and everything, those minerals that you're talking about are the ones that they're using in all the cell phones that you see. So Africa remains the source of natural resources, and all of them are hustling for it. I'll give you the example. In Niger Republic, uranium, which is used for nuclear powers, is being bought. The French was there buying it at, I think, 89 cents per gram. 89 cents, which is like dash away. But when they took over, the Niger government now is selling that in, I think it's $1,000, almost $2,000.
Yes, so they're making more money.
In the market, yes. So that's what I'm telling you. They are hustling so that they can get these things for free, or at no price, and then they'll use it to develop their own country, while our country remain in perpetual poverty.
So how come EBC, our leaders, they know? Are they ignorant of this, oblivious of it, or they know and they helpless? What could be the problem? Because person no fit tell you say no go better for you, and you concrete say no go better for you.
Our leaders are very, very much aware. They are very much aware of what is going on.
So why are they playing?
Because
to the gallery?
we even have African leaders like Patrice Lumumba, Kwame Nkrumah, even Mandela, whom they jailed for so long, and then he was released and later died. All these people are African leaders who were fighting the colonialists for this problem. Now, the new leaders are being, either compromised one way or the other or blackmailed. They are blackmailed. And then, or they give them promises. If you support us, we will support you and nobody can do anything to you, So
because of their selfish interests, they sell out their own country.
Yes, a lot of things like that do happen, they do happen. But these kind of situations are covered. You will not see where there was an agreement or there was where they discussed it, But all those who are versed in international diplomacy will know that this is what is going on.
So how bad does the situation fit D as it be like right now, especially as the 2027 election they come close and agitations don't deep from all quarters. And we know the quarters, and we know the momentum for this 2027 election already. How bad?
My problem
how would we expect things today now?
My problem is that, you see, 2027 is even too far away and campaign have started already.
Absolutely, and it's worrisome.
Campaign have started already. Now we have a burning house. Instead of us to quench the fire and take care of our home, we are pursuing little rats that are running out of the place. So that's politicians for you. Politicians, I told you, are going to do things, for their own betterment. And the people continue to languish in poverty. So I don't know why, but the calculations are very complex right now because people are defecting. That tells you there's no ideology. There's no ideology. All the political parties are the same, so they will defect where their gari is going to be, flowing normally. those who are running away from EFCC, where EFCC no will pursue them again, they defect to the other party. Later they will defect back again, you know. But they should think about the country, because the country we are living in, we don't want a one-party state. You know, I don't think it's a very good idea. The democracy that even people like President Tinubu fought for, which during his Nadeko days, is for participatory democracy. It's not for one-party system. If not one-party system, we might as well go under military, you know, but we want democracy.
But then they talk saying that because of the good work of Tinubu, now make other parties won't come identify with APC to join them now. Because
no, it doesn't work like that. Tinubu cannot be somebody that all he says is what democracy should all be. You know, there are people who are challenging him either for his economic policy or other policies. You know, so there must be opposition, you know, and if there's no opposition, then you're going into one-party state.
So, but do you think this administration, in terms of security and other issues, don't handle opposition right, especially dissenting voices? With the way we don't use arrest people, whether you protest or you talk anyhow now, DSS don't call you. As we hear the talk now, DSS will invite somebody, you know. Do you think they've handled opposition well? Do you think, things in that fear and I make a lot of politicians they tilt towards their party so that they could feed a bit?
Well, if they are scared, then they are cowards, you know. If they are scared, they are cowards. I remember very well, I was in service when President Tinubu himself was in Nadeko opposition and escaping the country, running. After they pursued him, he ran, and all those kind of stuff. If you're in an opposition, you should be ready to die. You cannot, you know, be looking for air-conditioned apartments and driving air-conditioned SUVs. There are people that were in the trenches, who went into trenches fighting for the independence of their country or fighting for democracy in their country, like the present president himself. You know, he didn't go and, although he ran away when the heat was very hot, but you cannot say because they are going to be pursuing you just, you know, join them and say, no, let us join them, because that is where the temperature is cooler. Okay. There must be opposition.
Now, back to the security issue. It's very worrisome. Remember, say we get the issue of Fulani headsmen too. Sorry for the profiling, but that's what a lot of people don't call them. For Benue, Plateau, Southeast generally. And right now, Delta State people don't worry about that same thing again. That one, another danger where they wait to explode. Or should people not just be too worried about them?
The Fulani headsmen, there are two types. There are Nigerian Fulanis who are headsmen. Okay, yes, and then we have foreign Fulanis, which the Chief of Defense Staff also identified.
So why can't we deal with them? If not them, they cause our trouble. How can somebody come from another country
we have to
cause
deal
problem
with them
for us? So why are we handling them with kids' glove?
We have to deal with them.
But do you think they've dealt with them properly? Did they handle them well?
I don't think they've dealt with them properly. In fact, when we even go for this Operation Safe Haven and all those kind of stuff, whereby we are forgiving those who surrender and those people who come in, and tomorrow, before you know it, they've gone back to attack the place they have attacked before. You know, so we have to be very, very conscientious and deal with this matter. There are fifth columnists, people who are double agents, people who are gaining from this particular problem, who don't want this fight to end. And they are in the country. Some of them are politicians, you know, and you don't want a situation where these people are allowed to. Because I think there must be the president have to take a very radical stance in dealing with this. Because if you try to deal with it as political, and you know, there are others who are sitting down already planning seriously on how to house the government. So I think the military and even the security agencies have to be very, very serious about dealing with these saboteurs.
Okay. All right. So that means for now we will still they manage the helpless way we will they manage to handle this Fulani issue, especially because farms need if you go from villages that go done off. Remember, say they go enter communities, kill people, destroy people, rape people for their farms, and we still our military still they like say they helpless for the situation. So that means we may have to endure this series of attacks for a while longer.
We are not going to endure it. I think even the military are coming to the realization that we cannot continue like this. You know, they have to change tactics and deal with it appropriately.
Okay. All right. Just before I let you go, if it's time for you to go, please let me know. I know that you need to run.
It's time
If
for me to go.
it's time for you to
Yeah.
go. Oh, one
I have
more now. How many
only
seconds?
5 minutes.
Okay, 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Okay, so 5 minutes. Waiting. How will we fit? What tip do you give to Nigerians living in those? I don't want to say war-torn areas, but it be like saying I'm waiting a bit right now. How you waiting be the thing you fit advise them on things where they go feed do to feed keep their heads off trouble.
I think right now we've had a lot of IDPs in Nigeria.
Yes.
You know, people who are unsettled from their hometowns. I think these people should try and also move to safer areas because yes, this is going on. There is a theater, a war theater going on, and by the time we fight it out, people can go back to their place. Otherwise, the death toll is rising on a daily basis. They are just killing people anyhow, you know, and our government should be very conscientious because the life of one Nigerian matters. We cannot say, oh, you know, 50 people were
But this
killed.
war don't continue for almost 10 years plus. It don't continue.
More than
Those things
that,
they go
more than
on,
that, more
and
than that. And that's why I'm saying that, you know, let's do something instead of when it happens, politicians will go down there, make statements, dash some people some money, and then go away. Then after 2 weeks, the terrorists will come again. The terrorists are very, very serious. Like from beginning, when we started this discussion, they've started buying drones, and that
yes,
is not a joke.
yes.
If they've actually started buying drones, they are very expensive, but with the kind of money that they have or their supporters have,
And even
I
the
think
ability to use it away from our own security
that is
system.
it. So if they have the capability to use it, like I said, there must be some kind of control room. And it's not bandits, these ragtag people you are seeing that are going to stay inside the control room and be directing drones, you
Okay,
know.
so very quickly, somebody, I guess one of my guests or callers been don't talk. Say Nigerian army get the capacity to finish these people, whether the ice swaps of this world, Boko Harams of this world, and all of this. But saying that the politics where they for inside government, and make they never feel done. Do you agree with him?
I totally agree with that. I've always said it. Who are these ragtag people? These are just random ragtag soldiers carrying maybe AK-47, you know, hanging around in the bush. If we have the proper technological countermeasure, we can go down there and bomb the hell out of all of them, clear them out. We can do it.
Even as in they use civilians as shelter. Remember, say
Well,
they kidnap civilians so that they use as shelter.
we can have collateral damage. Because if you don't have that collateral damage, they are still killing people. They are still killing people. So why don't you go there and take your chances and make sure that, well, if you have a very good drone, the drones are very well managed to do precision bombing. And if you can do that, you know, the number of casualties will be very, very less, but we can clear them. The
Okay,
reason
so
why
why?
they are still hanging around is because we are not attacking them. They are too comfortable here,
So why
you
are we not
know.
attacking them? Why are we not doing
No,
that? If we have the
see,
resources, we get everything. Why our military no fit take them heads on?
the military has been dealing with them. Even yesterday, 2 days ago, 1,000 of them were killed. The military has been dealing with them. But there are so many. and they come in droves into the country. All we have to do is to
What
look
is
for
wrong with
them.
our borders?
Our borders are free. They are open. I've told you this before. We don't have border in the northern periphery. So what we need is a technological surveillance system that will monitor that border and then, of course, manage it.
And we have the capacity to do that, but we're not doing that.
No, not really.
So does that mean that government perhaps does not have the political will so far to fight insurgency? Could that
political will? Political will is also necessary. Because let me tell you something, the way government operates, before some decisions are being taken, either in the National Assembly or at the presidency, a lot of variables come into play. A lot of reason will come. Okay, look at the National Assembly. When they are talking about certain things, you also have Senator Ali Ndume from Borno State, who is feeling it because he says his own constituents are affected. Meanwhile, somebody from Osun State might not even know what is happening in Borno State and will not feel that urgency, and that's the reason why we will suggest that let them bring out some security experts who are on the ground there to come and address the National Assembly, because we believe that they don't have the full picture of what's happening.
Okay, I know we've been through this before, but just again, for purpose of those who never hear you for inside this particular platform, what they again, what's it make you think? Say these people they feel they infiltrate our military the way they do them, they attack our military. If our military they destroy, do you think there's some sort of sabotage from our military or some complicity or something? What do you think say they happen when make these people then fit enter our military the way they enter them?
Many reasons. Sabotage.
Oh, our military they sabotaged.
Oh yeah, there are people inside. There are in every war. I've told you this before. In every war or every conflict, there are double agents. What we call double agents.
People where they work here.
Yeah, they eat with two hands. They work here. They agree with this people. They go here. They agree with them. They give information on the other side. They go there. They give information on the other side. Their motivation is money. Or other promises they get. So we have them. We have fifth columnists, even in government, who have religious sympathy.
Hey.
Religious sympathy for the people that are fighting. So when it happens, these guys are our people, how can we take a decision to kill our own?
So do you think that this ethnic coloration of the crime, now they bring this religious and ethnic
there is ethnic, religious, and political coloration. 3 different colorations in this.
Yay.
Mm-hmm.
So if now what's in it be, do you think, because Nnamdi Kanu case they go on, for instance, and a lot of people don't talk, say if you go fit grant people amnesty with all the crime where they don't commit, is it fair? I mean, this is not being subjudice, but is it fair that the IPOB people where they say they catch for Southeast and they never see them extend that operation Hadinkai, maybe call them Operation Udogachi or something for inside Southeast? Is it fair that waiting they go for one region, they go for the other region for Nigeria?
It can go. I think Nnamdi Kanu's case is already before the courts, and I know that besides the judicial aspect of it, there will also be a political side of it. Let's see what happens, because I strongly believe that if the leaders themselves should know, if you exclude certain people in your country, be they Fulanese or be they Igbos or be they Niger Delta people, if you run a country and exclude some of these people, you cannot have a smooth sailing. So political decisions will be made. At the same time, the judicial decision will be made where crime has already been committed, because a lot of people were killed in the East, Somebody have to answer for that, you know.
Okay, all right. Let me leave that. I wouldn't want to push further because time don't reach where you go because I for push because some of them they talk say no be them kill them. Some say that overzealous people now go kill them. Some they even claim say people where they kill them not even from their region. You know, say that matter they grab. And we're yet to identify all of that. So it'd be like say now one person word against the other. So we can't tell, just like you said, until there are concrete facts, we really can't tell who be who and who be the person where they commit the crime. But I want to appreciate you so much. I know say you know get time, but you still sneak out
Thank
time.
you.
You don't give me Jara for the time where we agree. I
Maybe we'll
appreciate you.
get
Make I take
another
your
time. Yeah, thank you
yes,
so
please.
much.
Please, thank you so much. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
All
Enjoy
right.
the rest of your day. Thank you, sir. Goodbye. All
Thank
right.
you.
So, Dennis Amakri, now former DSS deputy director for Nigeria. He's no longer in the country right now, but a man with Sabi well as it concerns security and you understand the Nigerian security system and everything where they happen for inside Nigerian security. As they hear I'm talking, this is saying they talk from an area of intelligence and understanding as it gets to do with security. This security matter now waiting to be say they bite all of us because the way it used to be for Nigeria, you don't know which person turn it could be tomorrow. It be like say none of us know when it could be our turn, and that is why we no go continue, we no go fit undermine or downplay what's get to do with security for inside our country. But for those that are just joining us, let me go back and recap the headlines for you very quickly, and then we'll begin to dissect each of those matters that is in the headline one at a time. Before you came here, we had handled the first two headlines, which is Nigerian army confirms Boko Haram's use of armed drones in Borno, similar to Israeli Ukrainian types. That is, say Nigerian army don't confirm, say Boko Haram they use armed drones where resemble the type where the Israel and Ukraine they use for inside Borno state. Now they confirm this one. Whoa, wow, wow. And then we hear say over 300 Nigerians now don't die so far, including army personnel for inside northeast. And a Boko Haram don't kill these people. Guess what? In just 5 weeks. That is in just a month and 1 week. 300 human beings don't die. And that is why this matter will concern insurgency. They pay me for body well because, as I said, if you not talk when it happened to your neighbor, God forbid if it be your turn tomorrow. So if it can't be your turn, what you can't do if you not talk. But delving right into politics, right? Labour Party chairman Julius Abure don't threaten to expose Peter Obi. Others, he said, if I start to talk, it will be like say, he said they will be like rotten eggs if I start to talk. Hey, Abure. Say if he start to talk, they will be like rotten eggs. Who exactly is he referring to, and why in they talk like that? I'll go jump into that conversation. And concerning the Nance president or factional Nance president, where we hear, according to them, say that is allegedly say DSS still hold. They say in daughter don't they cry, say where in daddy day, say in won't say in daddy. That is to say they never say release them if they still hold them. Nigerian government witness don't tender Ahmed Gulak death certificate for inside Nnamdi Kanu trial as evidence. And then Tinubu don't inherit, they say Tinubu inherit very bad government. Badly mismanaged government. As him talk and finish, he say, I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not blaming anybody. This is not to blame anybody. But Tinubu inherited very badly managed government. Who talked this one? Shomole, I talk up. He said the economy was in shambles. Oh, wow. Oh, if we were governors, Lamido and I would have challenged Tinubu in whatever he's doing. Chiwika Amechi, nine talk this one. And then, of course, electoral reform, INEC citizens' proposal, and the implications for 2027 as INEC don't table some numbers of reforms. So if they say they won't put for front, changes what they won't make for inside our electoral system, our electoral act. Senate don't confirm 5 INEC regs, and I don't hear them. 5, I not be tomorrow now go come the shall say, oh, he's Tinubu's friend, oh, he's Amechi's friend, oh, he's from here, oh, he's from there. 5, now they don't confirm now. 5 of them. So just take note. Now I make my work now to bring you update. Meanwhile, UK envoy don't talk say Tinubu economy they do very well. The economy is so good that it is attracting investors. Now so UK envoy don't talk. I didn't say that. UTME Jam don't agree. Say yes, true. They make mistake and they go begin review the exam records so that they will see what they could do about them. And the rest don't they on for who go win Lagos State matter as a concern the election. All this matter and more, now we'll still get to discuss this evening. All right. So the first two conversations we don't jump into. But Marco enter inside the one we get to do with Labour Party. Yay! As the national chairman or the expired national chairman wait then don't end. Okay. The national chairman of the Labour Party, Julius Abure, don't issue a bold public challenge to Peter Obi and other former presidential aspirants. And for other former presidential aspirants for inside the party. If they demand, say, make them present evidence of any money, any money allegedly given to him or the party during the 2023 general election. Say if una talk, say una give me money during general election, or una give the party money for general election, make una present the money, make I see. Make una present am. Now, they talk this one for inside a video where it be say broadcast. Abure con talk say he did not receive financial support from any of the candidates for personal use, including Peter Obi and will be the party's presidential candidate. Say he no collect any support. Say Peter Obi no give him any support. Some people can say, okay, we know say Peter Obi no dey give shishi, so talk the next one. Next, say Peter Obi no give you support. What else? Then they can't say he warned that if provoked, he will expose Obi and others in the opposing faction, making them reek like rotten eggs. Yeah. Say if they make am vex. In fact, he said, make a reader. He said, I want to challenge all of them. I was watching television and I saw some of them talking about corruption. Today, I want to challenge all of them, from Peter Obi down to the contested, from Peter Obi down that contested the election. That is from the presidential candidate downward to the last person. Let any one of them come out and tell the world that they personally gave me or the party money. Make them personally come and say, this is not the money they give me or give the party. I challenge them. Make them come and talk. Now, speaking for the talk, say, it is not to go and hide and be saying there's corruption in the party. Not be to go hide one corner and say there's corruption. Who are those that are who brought the money? Who be the people who bring the money? Who did they give it to? Who they give the money to? Where did they send the money to? I challenge them today that any of them that has evidence, even if they don't have evidence, let them be bold and come out and say when and how they gave the money. And if they can't do that, let them forever hold their peace. Yay! If they're not going to come and contact, say, this not the money where be say we give, then give me. Or this not where they collect money from. Or this one, if they're not going to come talk up, make they come talk now, or may they forever hold their peace. Abure also hinted at convening a world press conference to confront the allegations head on, stating that he has remained silent for too long out of respect and hope for reconciliation. Say that because of saying they get up, say they go reconcile. Now waiting making keep quiet all along. But now saying don't ready. Say, I am going to call a world conference and publicly challenge them. As a leader, we have been quiet to say probably they are making mistakes. One day, probably, they will come back. When people are talking about agents and money for agents, I kept quiet. I didn't say anything because I believe that the bad, the good, and the ugly of me are for me. And therefore, I should not throw away the bad child with the ugly bad child. The bad child or the ugly bad child. Now, when I saw that some people were going beyond their boundaries, I came out and I released a periphery of what played out. And I am sure that by now, that house is no longer together as it is right now. I am waiting for them from top to bottom to make any other move. And I will open my mouth. And when I open my mouth, whatever they go to or wherever they go to, they'll be like smelly egg, rotten egg that nobody will buy again. You hear them? Say if you open a mouth, say anywhere they go there like smelling egg, rotten egg where nobody go fit buy again. He called the lash out at Abia State Governor Alex Otti. He said the party's sole governor, Abure, said, look at the governor that is jumping like cricket. Abure, look at the governor that's jumping like cricket from one point to another. We didn't collect a dime from him. If he paid anybody any dime, let him come out and say so. We believe that we wanted to make a difference in politics, and so we allowed everyone to come in. When I met him in Transcorp, he asked me, Chairman, what do I do for you? I said, nothing. Put your money together and use it for the election. We supported them, but today, the party has no 1,000 naira from any of them. Not from the governor elected that we have suspended now, or from the senators and the House of Rep members, apart from apart from some of them. That's what he talk. He said Abure also his common crimes amid internal conflicts and allegations of corruption and all of those we say they don't levy for a head. He calls it we turned down offers because of this position or the positions they held. But today they are the forefront, and they are those crying to throw us out of office. Hell! All right, so waiting you to say be the can of worm where BC Abure get, where if you release, matter go worse well. What could that can of worm be? What do you think? Well, let's go straight to another conversation very quickly. Moving on to another conversation. Yeah, I tell on say the daughter of the embattled president of the National Association of Nigerian Students, Nan Atiku Abubakar Isa, they tearfully they appeal, they beg the Department of State Services, say, I beg, may they release him. Papa said they see the whole lot. But I want to ask something. How come, if it's true, not true, say DSS did the whole this Nan president? How come everybody keep quiet? Including all the oppositions. I'm sorry to say, including Peter Obi, including Atiku Abubakar, including Shawore, will be activists. How come everyone is quiet? Shaware's newspaper is reporting it. But then beyond that, even for in Twitter, he don't as much as tweets, talk say, oh, please, NAS president has reached out that he's still under custody by DSS. On what grounds are you holding him? I think say then Sabi they release people where be say, we Sabi they do this pro bono work. And I commend Shawore for some of this pro bono work where they do, where they carry people matter for head. But this is really very necessary to talk to deal with if truly this guy they in custody or naploy. Because if you know they in custody, how in daughter go use make video they cry say in papa they in custody. Say this is scary. That's why he talk. He say if those orgas, bosses at the top are not saying or doing anything towards his bail or his release, something bad might happen to him and nobody will know. They said DSS operative reportedly picked Issa up because of waiting circumstances were concerned waiting accusation we make to allegedly to against Sheyi Tinubu. So how could he still be in custody till now? That's the question. If he's still in custody, why is everyone quiet? Why are we like this in Nigeria, sir? Why are we like this? Things go happen to our own people. Everybody just day. As long as say no be me, so consign me. Why are we like this? Why? Well, moving on to Namdekano's case. A federal government witness identified as BBB on Wednesday tendered a certified true copy CTC of the death certificate of Ahmed Golan, Gulak, in the ongoing terrorist trial of indigenous people of Biafra leader Nnamdi Kanu. They tender them today, and as one of the exhibits where they go use, one of the things and ways they say they go use. Today Nnamdi Kanu be appeared before court, and I will play footages of waiting happen for court as usual. So they always play on waiting happen for court and waiting if we say in legal counsel then they talk. So it is very proper. Make on a hear them from in legal counsel directly, waiting they talk and how they use present the matter and how the matter they take go, because I mean we're here to give you balanced conversation. But going on with that case we get to do with Nnamdi Kanu. All right, moving forward now. Gulak, a former special advisor on political affairs to former President Goodluck Jonathan, was killed by suspected because it's not verified yet IPOB members in 2012. Now the news agency of Nigeria reports that BBB, who was the second prosecution witness, PW2, tendered the document before Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court in Abuja, where the case lay in front of him, the month. And then while he was led into evidence by the government's the lawyer for government side. Now, upon resume hearing, Awomolo, will be the lawyer for government side, informed the court that though the matter was scheduled for cross-examination of PW2, he had a question to ask the witness. Because today, what they're supposed to do now to cross-examine the witness, to ask him question based on the things we way he talk and where the prosecuting counsel don't ask him. Now, he said we asked for a permission to ask questions, my lord. Now, Kano's lawyer, Chief Kano Agabi-san, did not oppose Awomolo's application, and the judge directed him to go ahead. Now, Awomolo then asked BBB that one of the last evidence he gave was that during the radio broadcast made by Carlo, he called for a seat at home, leading to the death of Gulak. Now, the witness confirmed the statement. He said he participated in some of the investigations leading to Gulak's death. Besides this, he said he had a certificate of his death in the courtroom from the police dated, I think, July 18, 2021. According to the witness, the document is a certified true copy of the medical report of Gulak. According to when the document was shown to Kano's lawyer, he said he has no objection, and Justice Omotosho admitted it in evidence and marked it as Exhibit PWG. Now, Womolo then sought the court's permission for the document to be given to the witness to read in the open court. Now, BBB, then who read the content of the death certificate, said the document was from the Nigerian police Owerri in Imo State concerning Gulak, who was allegedly shot dead by IPOB members in 2021. After the question, Agabi proceeded to cross-examine the witness. So they start to cross-examine the witness today. Now make a play a bit of it.
Okay, the cross-examination of BBB started today and went on smoothly, but the defense got to a point where they needed documents to confront the witness, and those documents have been applied for. The CTC have been applied for, but not obtained yet. So based on that, an adjournment was granted to the 21st and 22nd of May, and we pray and hope that we'll get the documents so that we will continue with our cross-examination. So that's essentially what happened.
All right, so now when Nnamdi Kanu arrived at court, he will greet in lawyers one by one, as he greet them before he goes
Yes, sir. And so special. Have you go with that money?
All right, so you don't see the matter as it took this morning from the side court. The court is going to tomorrow. So I'm sure we're seeing all of this. So the case continues tomorrow, and of course, I will bring you. The case will continue tomorrow. After tomorrow, perhaps we go adjourn them to another date. And as it continue tomorrow, I will bring on an update of the matter as it get to do with the case tomorrow. But then let's move on to other issues very quickly before I open phone lines, make on a fit talk on our mind for inside the matter. Now, former APC National Chairman Adams Oshomole, he don't again condemn the administration of then President Muhammadu Buhari for leaving a mismanaged country and economy for his successor, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Say President Muhammadu Buhari leave country where be say he leave economy where be say they very, very mismanaged for Tinubu. So I don't know if you get the point. Yeah. Say the economy day was in shambles. So say on been expecting Tinubu to perform magic, on been expecting to perform miracle, because I mean see the kind of economy where be say he even inherit in the first place. Now Mr. Shimole, the senator representing Edo North, in an interview aired on China's television yesterday, Tuesday, said based on the economic environment inherited by this government, we would have expected that in 24 months they would have fixed all those problems and Nigeria will be back. The former Edo governor stated that truly, truly, the country was badly mismanaged and the economy was badly mismanaged. And a lot of people come to ask questions. They say, excuse me, sir, Uncle I beg no vex. Who exactly mismanaged this economy? The same political party where under them you be chairman at that time, the same political party, when are you be the chairman at that time too, for inside that same government, when you be chairman at some point. Now you dey cry say, oh, make we no expect person wey dey on top. Now inside the same political party to perform miracle. Who exactly will perform the miracle? Even if there's somebody from another political party, ordinarily you think that government is a continuum. So anywhere where another person stop, another person will take over. How come or how is it that Buhari blamed Jonathan or blame PDP? Now you're blaming Buhari for the economy. In fact, the one way weak me pass now, as he be say, he even talk and finish. Come they like say, you no one blame Buhari or you no one Buhari problem or you no one blame. Just go and watch it. Go and watch it. Is it that they're afraid of calling out Buhari if he truly messed up the economy? Are they afraid of calling him out? Oh yeah, go and watch it.
That was inherited by this government. We expect that in 24 months, in 24 economic environment that was inherited by this government, we expect that in 24 months, it will have fixed all those problems and Nigeria will be back. Truly, this country was badly mismanaged. The economy was badly mismanaged. This is not to blame anyone, but this is to speak to facts. So I think we can say.
This is not to blame anyone, but this is to speak to facts. Are you serious? Okay.
So I think we can say the economy was badly mismanaged. This is not to blame anyone, but this is to speak to facts. So I think we can say, I can say that I think the worst is over. We are going to begin to witness improvement in quality of standard of living. I expect that all the other players of labor who are benefiting from some of the courageous decisions that the president has taken will ensure that, talking about trickle down, for me it's not trickle down, that they pay living wage. Because when you pay workers living wage, the money they earn, the only people who look inward in their consumption pattern are salary earners. So when they are able to political party, the Labour Party and the Conservative Party. Same can be said for America. What is the volume of American documents? But leaders are supposed to have a sense of justice up there.
Okay, so there you go. You don't hear I'm waiting Oga Oshimolo get to talk. By the way, in case you never go watch some videos that I posted earlier, you should go watch it because Oshimolo at some point challenged Ruben Abati to war. Say, come, make we go streets, go, let's go and box. We could go fight for streets. Say, I know they follow for church or church. This is not about church or church. If you get problem with me, come face me. Not be say go hide for back of camera for inside television. They talk church or church anyhow. This is not church or church matter. Come out and face me if you get problem with me. We could box him. Why it tell Ruben about it that go watch him? It inside my video. It for my video segment. Just go and watch it. And I posted that earlier today. Oh wow, this country no go cease to amaze us, right? But let's move on to other issues and some other people will put us for other problems too. As former River State Governor Rotimi Echimechi don't say Nigerians' political climate would look markedly different if the generation of governors who he then gets for office now they a bit as radical as them been they for their time. He talked this one for former Jigawa State Governor book launch. That is a Sule Lamido book launch. We happened yesterday. A lot of people attend that book launch. Olusegun Obasanjo attend that book launch, and Peter Obi attend that book launch. Plenty of them attend the book launch, and a lot of them had a lot to say. Now for inside that place, now be say Amechi admits, say yes, true, say in follow for people with push force, carry force, made them commode Jonathan. Say they mean scheme against to commode Jonathan. Now DNI in talk, I mean confess them. Can't talk say, but just as I said, the Jigawa State Governor no dey as radical as in day. But in terms of waiting they happen for this government, now go, you can't talk. People can't say why if they always talk about this government like if you were the president. I mean you can contest primaries with Bola Ahmed Tinubu. If you were the president, what would you have done differently? So a lot of people they talk say, okay, Oga, tell us what you for do differently. Make we know that thing what you for do differently. By the way, this is your first time of joining us. Kindly click on the subscription button. I beg. Subscribe and like this post. If you did here now with us, kindly like the post. Make a fit move this ministry they go forward. But make I quickly play you waiting Amechi talk. I just a little bit of excerpt of
what is going on currently now in Nigerian politics. Could it have happened when we were governor? The answer is no. What is going on currently now in Nigerian politics? Could it have happened when we were governor? The answer is no. And you said no. We will confront the government. We will confront the president. You know that. That's how radically we are. That's how our governor's forum was. That's how determined we were to change things. But I don't have to forgetting that.
Okay, I doubt you for guessing that. So waiting be the real problem with governors where they in power right now? Why are the governors not acting? The governors where they now the crop of governors where they now waiting make them they act. Or if be this thing what make you talk not true. What it make it be like say the governors within a day be docile? Why it be say people they see all the governors within as oh yes members to the executive to the presidency. In fact, it be like say every arm of government for Nigeria now oh yes member to the presidency. And the legislature said they fear may they not even get problem with executive at all. To the extent that when I played a video for you guys last week, when it be say was it last week or early this week, when the Senate President be they talk about something when be say Okpayemi Bamidele talk about the I think Minister for Defense. He can't talk say that's when you talk. We'll go talk about. I will call them later. Talk about them and make it no be say we the legislator they get problem with the executive. Oh, so it did deliberate to avoid problem with the executive, even though if nothing, so they undermine the livelihood of our constituents, where on a swear and oath to protect and defend, even if it did like that. So you think, say the group of governors where they now, if to say I made their time, they for do differently. And if that's true, then what is wrong with the group of governors we have now? I would really like to take your thoughts and reaction on that conversation. I have this conversation around the electoral reform, a very, very long conversation. And I would really, really like me to get them. But maybe I could just do a separate video on them because I know I could be distracted or join them together with other issues. But for the purpose of this conversation today, make us still raise them. But then I would still like make we talk about them later. But before then, the Senate don't confirm appointment of 5 resident electoral commissioners for the Independent National Electoral Commission. The News Agency of Nigeria, now they report this one today, Wednesday, 9, they confirmed them. So 5 of them. Now reports say the Rex confirmed are Omar Garba, where they represent Kano State, Saad Idris, Bauchi, Chukwemeka Ibiziako, Anambra, Omar Mukhtar Borno, and Dr. Johnson Sinkiem for Bayelsa State. And Lalong, for inside the presentation, say the committee they considered to resume work experience. They consider their resume. They consider their resume, their work experience, and their career progress, and what to make them use nominate them and how they use put them for that office. You can't say the nominees then respond to the questions where you say they ask them successfully and they don't mark them good. Say maybe they go. But speaking about electoral reforms, will be the cocoa for our problem. Let's just give a bit of a preview of this conversation because it will good we could just put small light to the conversation before we move on. Because INEC don't recommend some changes for our electoral system. Remember, say yesterday when I be talk to her, I tell her talk say INEC don't talk say there will indeed be electoral reform, but say na the hand of the in the hand of the National Assembly to confirm as it would take be, because of course now they could create the law or make the law. But then Nigeria 2027 election, now just about 21 months away, may be regulated by a new electoral law, possibly Electoral Act 2025, where the fee pass this year if they get the mind to pass this year. Now, as long as the National Assembly concludes the ongoing amendment process and the President grants assent to the bill this year. Therefore, the next few months will be determinative. Debates on electoral reforms and proposed amendments to key sections of the Election Act 2022 and the Constitution will dominate public discourse. Now, wait to make they raise this one here, apart from the video we're going to make later on, that's to just create awareness and also give us the opportunity to call in and drop in our thoughts on those. Now, you say at the moment of 2027 election gathers steam and politicians don't they, scheme on the things and wouldn't feel. But the most important thing now, waiting will consign the things and we be want to. Now, INEC officially highlights for a proposal, say they get some electoral reforms we be say they won't do and where then, won't accomplish within the electoral cycle. This one, they include 4 major constitutional amendments, cutting across 16 sections of the 1999 Constitution as amended. Now, the proposal includes the introduction of early voting and special voting for to be allowed for eligible voters on essential services to vote in elections. So that those people will be saying a broadcast journalist like me, most times I never really get time to go vote since elections start because I always work during every election day. I always work. It's either I'm reporting or I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So I always stay busy and I need a get chance to vote. So say people like us, if we say people will be doctors, people will be on essential duties, they will give them opportunity to vote earlier. So early voting, a part of voting, if we say they will accommodate those people will be say they work. and all that. They also consider diaspora voting, because that one also they very important. It's part of voting. We said they also look at diaspora voting. That's a part of the things we they look at. Elections. This includes election officials, security personnel, accredited journalists, and all of those. Yeah, as well as voters under incarceration. That is the ones with the prison and all of those. And then also diaspora voters. So all of them are with the diaspora, they want to go vote earlier together with these people who on essential duty. Now, this reform will ensure eligible voters are not disenfranchised as a result of their role in elections and location. And they enhance to enhance the independence of the commission. INEC is also proposing the removal of the powers to appoint resident electoral commissioners from the presidency. So make presidents not be the person where they appoint rec officers again. Make it be say rec officers, they appointed by INEC by themselves, right? The amendment would empower INEC to appoint and discipline heads of state officers, FCT officers, and state directors of elections. Furthermore, INEC is advocating for the establishment of Electoral Offences Commission and a political party regulatory agency to advance political inclusion. INEC recommends the creation of designated constituencies for women and persons living with disability. That one saved it. Now, in relation for the 2023 Electoral Act, INEC is also advocating for amendments to 35 sections. Notably, among the proposals includes removal of ambiguities in the results management process, particularly the ambiguity in the words transfer and direct transmission. So INEC the talk say what they won't go do, say when they amend this electoral act right now, make them look well to use, make sure say some words where they like say they hidden a bit, make them make them open, make it no day too hidden again. So things like the difference between transfer and direct transfer of result or direct electronic transfer, say words like that, make them make them a little bit more open so that they understand. So they say words like transfer and direct transmission of election results used in section 60 subsection 5 and section 64 subsection 4 and 5 of the Electoral Act, which is the estimation of commission has resulted, or according to the commission, say it don't result to conflicting interpretation because some people they interpret them differently, right? Okay. Another significant thing will be said and proposed for inside the amendment. Now a caveat will limit INEC power to review election results solely to cases of declaration of results under duress. Now, remember, say, so they talk about that. Finally, INEC also proposed the introduction of electronically downloaded voter cards or any other form of identification acceptable to the Commission for Voter Accreditation. So say some people don't need disenfranchised because they don't get PVCs. So say if PVC no day, make people still go do election. So Charles Aniagolu, I think he interviewed somebody from Yaga Africa yesterday, and then be analyze this particular section. And I caught out that excerpt, make it be say we'll listen to them so that we'll get a bit of
quite frankly, when you look at the 8 recommendations INEC has proposed for electoral amendments, especially the electoral. So there are 4 of them that relate to the Constitution, and there are about 16 provisions in all. What are those provisions? The first one, INEC is proposing that the power to appoint resident electoral commissioners should be divested from the president and vested in INEC. So INEC can appoint state directors of elections and in the FCT. Now that proposal aligns with the citizens' demand as well as Justice Owais Committee's recommendation. Because one of the tools being used by incumbents to capture the Electoral Commission is to assault and incur on its operational independence. In other words, if the president is appointing national commissioners, if he's appointing resident electoral commissioners, the chances that their independence is guaranteed is quite limited. So INEC is proposing that you remove that power from the president. Quite a bold move, and this is the first Electoral Commission that is actually adopting some of this particular recommendation. The second one relates to early voting. It hasn't, of course it has to. We hope that the National Assembly considers it because it's constitutional amendment. The second is early voting, a very progressive proposal because it gives journalists, election observers, INEC officials, security agents who are on essential election duty to cast their vote at every election. It also gives inmates, prisoners who are in incarceration, the opportunity to cast their vote, including Nigerians in diaspora. So that's one progressive proposed amendment. The other amendment, relates to the PVCs, that the downloadable, the permanent voters card.
Right.
INEC is proposing that the law should be amended to legalize the use of electronically generated permanent voters card or any other official ID recognized by the Electoral Commission. That again also aligns with the demands of citizens and other stakeholders, because what it does is it increases accessibility to voting. We've seen cases where Nigerians were disenfranchised because they didn't have their PVCs, not because they didn't show up to collect their PVCs, but as a result of logistical challenges on the part of the Electoral Commission.
So if they had perhaps their driver's license or something, a passport or whatever.
Exactly, because we have the BVAS that functions optimally. The voters register is on the BVAS. So if you show up with an official ID and your name is on the voters register, you should be allowed to cast your vote. The one problematic proposal that INEC has made, which contravenes and is against, the demands of citizens, was INEC is proposing that the power it has under Section 64 of the Electoral Act to review results declared under duress or in contravention of the Electoral Act, INEC guidelines and its manual, INEC is proposing that the power of review should be limited to only cases where elections were declared under duress. And that is problematic, because that particular proposal was demanded for by citizens, because it was to address the impunity on the part of politicians to undermine the electoral process. Why is INEC seeking an amendment to that particular law, limiting the exercise of its review powers to only results declared under duress, when we have seen in recent elections where collation officers declared and announced results in contravention of the guidelines?
Absolutely.
So are you trying to protect election officials from liability when they violate the law? I thought that the Electoral Commission, given recent experiences, will seek an amendment to strengthen that particular law. But this proposal weakens it.
Yeah, but why do you think they're doing that?
I don't know.
You've been liaising with them.
I think the Commission has not come out to explain the rationale for that proposal. It is shocking to us, and we hope that the National Assembly actually jettisons that proposal, because it's antithetical, to every attempt to protect the electoral process.
Are you going to lobby the National Assembly
Absolutely.
to drop it?
The position of citizens is clear. There's a citizens memo on electoral reform that has got 37 recommendations, and those recommendations have been canvassed before members of the National Assembly, and we will continue to engage with the National Assembly to pass those particular laws. But where proposals are made that would not strengthen our electoral process, we have to jettison it and oppose it. But one proposal that INEC has also made is the need to address the ambiguity related to results collation.
Absolutely.
And our results collation process needs to be
2023.
overhauled. But I think it's also limited, because the proposal INEC is making is that the National Assembly should clarify, the difference between transfer and directly transmitted. Because those two words were used in Section 60 of the Act and Section 64 of the Act. That created some form of confusion. But the biggest problem is that in this whole discussion of electoral reform, we have not seen any proposal that makes electronic transmission mandatory. And that is not what citizens have demanded. Citizens have demanded that the National Assembly should legally mandate electronic transmission of results, not as a substitute to the manual process, but that both processes go hand in hand so they can serve as a check. But in the current discussion about electoral amendments, the proposal for electronic transmission of results is not on the table. And I think that it's a missed opportunity, and the actors, the National Assembly members, especially the Joint Committee, who have been doing terrific work, because the entire reform process is actually coming to an end in the next couple of months. They've been doing great work, but that act needs to reflect the desires of Nigerians. And Nigerians have demanded mandatory transmission of results electronically, not as a substitute for the manual process, but that both of them go hand in hand. So the judiciary would not come at the end of the day and say, IREV is not part of the collation process.
Okay, all right. So you don't hear the way the executive director of Yaga Africa break that matter down, and now what make me very interested, especially this one where you pick on the electronic transfer of results. We'll be waiting a lot of Nigerians they cry for and they clamor for it, because once you make them compulsory to transmit results electronically and in real time, it will curb a lot of malpractices. So that when you don't transfer results electronically and in real time, and then INEC, because the single don't do for their IREV, and then INEC come bring that their paper, their spreadsheet already they bring. They no go come talk say, oh, the one where they our paper, now be the more superior one to this other one. The two of them must correspond, so that we could see how they go use cheats. Because all of us go they polling unit and that, but they wait for them. They use upload down when they go upload, which is the one we see, so that whatever they will manipulate now cannot be manipulated again. Do you understand? So it would actually help a lot to curb malpractice or rigging, even though say there's always a way where they find way to rig. Unfortunately, for that recommendation, remember saying that particular one, maybe where a lot of Nigerians fault the now INEC chairman, Mahmoud Yakubu, pass for inside this election. When they tell them, say, all of a sudden, you get glitch. Wait till now, you never see, explain to Nigerians nature of the glitch where you get for in the process of uploading that result to IREF portal, right? You never see tell us the reason or the result, the nature of the glitch where you get. And that particular one, no conde for the recommendations where INEC make for the changes where they want change for the Electoral Act. So is it that it's deliberate to just give hole for them to do what thing they want to do? You know, a lot of Nigerians don't already they talk. When we want to talk, say, oh, they don't they leave hole now where it be say anybody will become INEC chairman, they could just use meet and tell and say, oh God, do like this now. You go see excuse and leeway where you go fit use do what they want to do. I thought to bring this discussion to the fore because it is very important about our life and our future, so that it will help us voting the right person into power. Now, speaking about economy, you know, so I've been telling us say Adam Soshimole talk say, make you not expect Tinubu to change the rotten and decay economy we inherit from Buhari in 24 months. Say ordinarily, me to say for they doable, but unfortunately, no, they doable. However, the British High Commission for Inside Nigeria, Richard Montgomery, he don't praise President Bola Ahmed Tinubu economic reform. Say, okay, you to try your economic reform makes sense. Well, it describe them as a big, bold initiative where it be say go fit transform. So if I say the thing don't transform Nigeria into a more attractive destination for investment. Hey, Oga UK, Oga Montgomery. Now, so you the use yan. Say President Bola Ahmed Tinubu reforms, they very big and bold, so much that it don't make Nigeria, it don't turn Nigeria into where people go fit come they do investment. He talked this one today when they get press conference, and maybe they tell Nigerians this one. I don't want to talk so much, make I just end that there. I'm waiting they don't talk with that one. It's up to you guys to agree or not agree. But I just like to let you know that the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAM, don't admit to errors for inside the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination (UTME). Now, the registrar of the board, Professor Isha Kuliyede, talked this one during a press briefing where he said they hold today for Inside Abuja. He said what would have been a moment of joy has changed due to one or two errors. Now, so he talked. According to him, we set all the machineries in order. Regardless, there are still errors. This one are because of say people don't complain well concerning the JAM examination. The board also don't promise. He said this. Okay, he said the board also promise say if any glitches are identified, appropriate remedial measures will be implemented promptly. Now, the 2025 results, it don't show 78% of candidates scored less than 200 of the 400 maximum obtainable points. In fact, 78% scored less than half of the mark, and a very worrisome development. But they don't admit, say, fault they from their end, and they don't talk, say, it be like this, some people will even resit the examination again, because of this kind of one will happen like this. And for inside Lagos State, even though it may not be our business or your business, but let me mention it to you because it's part of matter where they grant. So some people don't they grant now where they wait, they're ready to use be the governor of Lagos State. And momentum don't they high because they won't pick the favorite and not favorite. Now, Bajabi Amila did for the forefront, chief of staff of the president, he did for the forefront, as one of the persons will be the next governor of Lagos State. Apart from Sheyi Tinubu, because Sheyi Tinubu still did the race, according to them say, and you also don't they observe say people with the back Bajabi Amila plenty, especially Desmond Elliott, maybe an Hollywood actor, the backup. But people like the Minister of Education, Oga Alausa, is still there, the race, now one of those two, and not forgetting the person where they in charge of the National House of Assembly for inside the state, Obasa himself did the race, Abike Dabiri too did the race. All these people they done the warm up, we never know who the anointed child go be, we go, take the prize. But then for those with NMIC, they talk say they don't increase their some kind money. Well, NIMC don't come explain to Nigerians. Say so far they don't achieve to make sure say they don't register up to 120 million Nigerians. At least in the general figure, 120 million, 40 Nigerians now they don't register so far. I say that good fit. Now this one. This one come as a commission. They explain why they review some of their prices recently. They can't explain to Nigerians what to make them review some of their prices. Now, according to NMIC, they continue to expand their infrastructure capacity to serve Nigerians better for within the last 24 months. Now, Abisoye Kuka will be their Oga Patapata, the general director that is the Director General of NIMC, now come out and they tell Nigerians this one. As the commission say the commission don't reduce corruption for inside the agency by 40%. It never end though. The corruption just reduced by 40%. On a recent price review, she can't talk say the charges for the modifications of data say they increase them while verifications were decreased. That is to verify your data, they reduce them. But to modify your data, that is to change your name, change your date of birth, you marry, you won't change them, or mistake they your name, you won't change them, mistake they anything, you won't change them, anything where you won't change, won't correct. They increase the money to 28,000 naira from I think 5,000 naira people used to pay. But now it's 28,000 thereabouts. And the concept, but say the price to use verify, say they reduce that one. You say, coaching Hannah, she says, there were some prices that were too much, so that we need to so we did what we did was to remove them. There were all sorts of prices over there. People were extorting citizens with outrageous prices. NIN enrollment is free, but if you want to modify your data for any reason, you have to pay more. Now, some prices were reviewed downwards and others upwards. In terms of verification, the prices were reviewed downwards, but upwards in terms of modifications. That's how you talk. But people they worried still for that one because accordingly, the commission don't hike the date of birth corrections fee to 28,574 naira. So if you want to change your date of birth, now the amount will be say you could pay that. And then people don't they worried say why it be saying at this kind of money now you will get to pay. Meanwhile, and people going to talk, so wait, are you doing this because it will really cost you money to change or alter these things from your portal? It will really cost you money to alter these changes from your portal, or not just because of say you don't become a revenue generating agency, so you won't make money for government. Oh, did I even tell you that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu earlier today talked say it is very important to make Nigerians pay more taxes because taxes now will help us to use make money. Even though a lot of people don't come for the presidency, how can you say a thing like that? But others said, but we need those taxes to be able to survive. Because without the taxes, how will we use make money? Especially considering, say, some of the crude oil where they ground, we don't already use and borrow money. The ones where they ground. So, and while others they talk, say, well, must everything be about taxing Nigerians, especially when you they tax people where you never even empower, you never give them work, and you they tax them. How then go use scope? When you dey tax people, you never give work. So President Bola Ahmed Tinubu yesterday Tuesday declared that taxation was key in the efforts to reposition the country's fiscal architecture for resilience, inclusiveness, and growth. Now Tinubu talk this one for inside Abuja. He can't say it is very important. Make people know say tax na very important thing for them to pay. And so say if you notice say your tax they high, make you no vex because you get to pay the tax. Not a problem. People say people go pay tax when you don't empower them, when you don't give them the job where they go use pay the tax for. Not when it be say your administration don't even make more people lose jobs. Then you see they expect them to pay more taxes. How are they going to cope with paying that more taxes? Now, waiting people to talk with that. Well, I'd like to say a big thank you to all of you. Very quickly, phone lines are open. Let's see if we can jump in on the conversation. Any of this matter we will talk today, we do you for body. Feel free to jump in on them. 0817-029-4077. That's the number to call us with if you want call to talk to us live, or you just enter inside the studio direct to talk to us. Just click on the link for inside the wait for the pinned comment for the comment ready for the comment section where they pin. If you click on that link, it will carry you straight come inside the comment section. Or for those way I get their WhatsApp details, I don't send on a WhatsApp message already. We carry the link. So just click on the link and you get into the studio to jump in on any of the conversation, especially this conversation we get to do with electoral reforms. Waiting you think. First off, what do you think about the recommendation of changes where INEC sent to National Assembly? Just as we explain them for inside, the head of Yaga Africa explained them for inside that interview with Charles Aniagolo for Arise. And then what do you think say will fit really do about? And you think say the 10th Assembly then gets the mind to make good changes where it be say go fit benefit Nigerians as a concerned, free, fair, and credible election. And apart from that, because another thing now for INEC to make those bills and all of that, and National Assembly to make the bills, but another thing now for the president to actually accent the bills. Remember the first time. Remember during Buhari time where we see bills they for in front for a while, you know, sign them. So you also see the National Assembly effecting good changes for inside the Electoral Act, and then the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration actually consenting those bills and also making sure, say, in mark the bills they could. You see that happening. I would really like to take your thoughts and reactions. So yeah, call me up, make we know as the matter take to you for body. At the meantime, let me quickly take your messages. But the phone lines are open, by the way, to call 0817-029-4077. Now only WhatsApp if you use that one call 0817-029-4077, or you just click on the link and come straight into the studio to join the conversation. Thank you so much. I see you, Ike Chiku. I appreciate you. Chiboy, thank you very much. And we seen that Elon Musk internet now they use. That is the terrorists where they use drone. Now Elon Musk internet. Are you serious? Are you kidding me? Elon Musk internet now they use. Oh wow. Eh. All right, if that's what you say. And then what did you say again? This person here says, good evening to you all. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Dynamic Ministry of the Holy Spirit. Ouch, your name is beautiful. Chiboy then says, Shahid drones cost about $25 to $30,000. That's actually exactly what Mr. Macri said. That's exactly what Mr. Macri said. And I'm waiting to talk with that. And Judge Onwemene says, is it not shameful that foreigners will boldly come into our country and dislodge our military bases with impunity? What is the point of having military architecture if we can't defend our own country? Man, that is embarrassing. It's embarrassing, but then it is what it is. I'm still waiting to hear your prophecy. No. I need to see vision again. And the forensic force attacking Nigeria are APC foreign forces, or the foreign forces attacking Nigeria, you said. Nigeria, please stand with Peter Obi. That's what you said. And then good evening, Precious. Thank you so much, Roland Abbas. I appreciate you, Roland. Man of Prestige, MOP says some these weapons find their way into Nigeria due to our large. Yeah, I agree with you because of our large and porous borders. I agree with you. Even the AES is already under the Islamic agenda. They have already succeeded. Oh wow! Oh wow! 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 Which one been a lie? San Simal Mills. Which one is the lie again? But let me check this call. Hello, good evening and welcome. Good evening, sir. Welcome. Yes, I can very well. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, I will just talk about briefly the changes INEC intends to make.
Yes.
But I'll be make reference to, unfortunately, yesterday I couldn't join your live video with David and
okay.
But I watched the entire clip, and I saw you asked him some questions, and I was listening to the answers that he was giving. And on one of the questions you were asking, because I noticed that you asked the question, you give an answer, and then you now ask him, so why did that one also? And most of the answers he always gave was that there were people beyond or external to the country who are controlling things. And he gave that answer for multiple things, if you remember. He gave that answer for, why our leaders are failing, why our leaders are sabotaging us, why he kept giving the answer that.
But we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about this election issue right now.
Yes, but it also ties in.
Okay.
Is it not still Nigeria?
Well, there are different conversations, but just go ahead if you want to point out something anyway. I'd like to hear.
Yeah, so remember that the last election, I think they were going to introduce beavers, or the upgraded beavers. And it was believed that is, it cost billions of money. There was money budgeted for that.
We had been using beavers, just to know, we've been using beavers, so it's not because of it, but it's just that, like you said, upgraded. And then we can't also get the idea because of the 2023 Electoral Act, so can't also get the idea of uploading to IREV and all of those. Those were, some additions.
Okay. And with all that sophistication and upgrading, they just turned it off. So when it came to to bypass the process, they just took someone to turn it off, or whatever they said happened. And they brought everything to null and void. So all these amendments that they're making in INEC, who says that the same thing will not be done? And if you want to ask, so why? Because we'll still go back to that question. Why is it that these things can happen? then he go back to what David on there and saying. Are we trying to? So my question, and this question is to you and every other caller from all over the world. Are we really honest and want to really get at the root of the problem, or do we just want to be lamenting, talking, about the problem in Nigeria? Because for me, what David was saying, just that for me, he was short of the complete reason. He was saying it for nothing. The reason is that at the Berlin conference, they put all these things together so that we will not work. And the solution is for us to balkanize. That is it. If we balkanize, you will not get leaders that are ready to die for their own section. All these problems we have
but you think saying at that time now everything good. I don't tell you before, just like we discussed yesterday. If you divide Nigeria, for instance, into how many pieces you will divide them? I won't ask you. I'm telling you this because even to the major components where you go break them down to, there's still crisis and division among those components. Crisis still there, and disagreement still there within those components, and that disagreement will still continue, and then these foreign forces will still take advantage of those disagreements and still do what they want to do.
So first of all, all these countries that are
if that's true anyway.
Hold on. Okay, like all these countries doing well in the West. They fought the Second War, they fought the First World War. So it's not like their problems will come. Problems will come. But any problem, it's good to look at what is the source. The thing with Nigeria is that the source of our problem is actually how it was put together. Our diversity is not the problem. The problem is the way it was put together. People are not consulted. You have constitution, nobody's obeying. And then we have this history of that civil war, and nothing has really been done to actually heal the land, those the victors and the vanquished. Nothing has been done honestly to do that. So trying to move past this is just being dishonest, and so that it becomes the work.
And so that's what I'm saying. So so that means what you're saying from your statement, your recommendation is perhaps a true reconciliatory move. You understand?
No. We are past that.
So no amount of reconciliation will feel work again.
Wait, let me just make this report and I'll see.
No
wahala. With what is happening in Nigeria now, plethora of terrorist groups all over the place. Most Nigerians don't even believe in the state itself. And it's trying to heal, and those things will not. It's foolhardy. It will last for maybe 4 or 5 years, and everything is still collapsing again. At this point, it won't work. Let's just be honest. Let's not do this thing. See, people always want to cite things like South Sudan, places that are balkanized and do not work. But they will not cite places like Yugoslavia, former Czechoslovakia, former USSR, Soviet, where states, broke away from larger states and are doing very well. So you don't have to say that once we break that, our whole problem will end. It's not true. How will it end? But at least you cannot sit down with your own woman and speak one language and say, okay, is it all to what? We have to save ourselves, and people will be honest. Or is it Biafra? Or is it Larewa? And people will now know, okay, this is really our own thing, and we need to save this. As Nigeria is now, it's even worse because the way Nigeria is now is we are sabotaging ourselves. We don't care if the other region is destroyed, and that is what we are doing. Milking the resources of the other region, we don't care. That is worse than if we had our own entities. If we had our own states, then if you burn it to the ground, you will shame on you. Everybody there, if you go to the meeting, people will be ashamed of yourself. Because I don't agree that all the entities that emerge from the Nigerian state will feel that same way. No. That's the way that we all have different performances and experts across the world and different, problems. It will show up there. But it will be each state will be in Europe for the other, just like it happened among the Asian tigers. You will see and see, is it not people that are black like me that are able to make this progress? And then you can borrow from them, or you'll be ashamed and laugh to stop for the rest of the world. That is what I'm trying to say. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate your opinion. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Let's see. I don't know, but anything will go make Nigeria more forward, though. That is what we need because it's tiring. it's really tiring to hear the same story every day. Worse still, for those of us who say they bring the stories every single day. Sometimes your head will just be too full hearing and getting to present most of the stories every day. So we can't wait for Nigeria to be good, honestly speaking. Because if it's good, it was a whole lot, right? I appreciate all of you. You can get the calls coming in if you still want to call in 0700 0817. Yes, not 0700. Forgive me. Yeah, so it is 0817029407. That's the number to call. Yeah, I see all your messages, and I want to say a big thank you to all of you. I appreciate all of you now. Make I just go take a bow quickly. Just do that video I told you I would have to do about the election reforms, because it's very important that we just have a separate cut from it so that we use the remind ourselves of what we really need to do for election. Thank you guys for being a part of the show, and these are the updates where I don't bring for Adomo today. I appreciate all of you now. Thank you. God bless you. See you again tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening, God willing. And then God bless you. My name is Precious Enyi. Whatever happens, protect.